Your attitude determines your direction. How you think shapes how you live. A positive mindset opens doors that fear keeps closed. These are not just words, but the foundation of every success story. Your attitude is the invisible force that guides your choices, actions, and how you respond to challenges. It can lift you up or hold you back. Imagine waking up every day with confidence, ready to face whatever comes, because your attitude is strong and steady. What if changing your outlook could change everything about your life? This video will show you how your mindset shapes your reality and why attitude truly is everything. You will discover simple but powerful ways to build an unshakable attitude that pushes you forward even when times get tough. If you're ready to take control of your life by mastering your attitude and unlocking your full potential, then let's dive in. Chapter 1. Start every day with a positive decision. Every day when you wake up, before the world gets loud, before the noise of the outside world rushes in, you're standing at a crossroads. Right then, in that quiet moment, you've got a choice to make. A real choice. And this choice, it's not small. It shapes how your entire day unfolds. It shapes how you think, how you feel, how you act. And ultimately, it shapes your future. That choice is your attitude. Attitude is not something you're born with. It's something you choose. It's a decision you make every single morning. When your eyes open and you take that first breath of a new day, you have the power to decide, today I will take control of my mindset. Not the weather, not your bank account, not your past mistakes, not even the opinions of others. You have the power. You see, life doesn't always give you what you expect. It doesn't always hand you the perfect morning or a calm day. It gives you challenges. It gives you delays. It gives you hard people and uncomfortable conversations. But it also gives you something more powerful than all of that. It gives you the freedom to respond. And how you respond starts with how you think, how you carry yourself. That's your attitude. There are people in this world who wake up to less than you, less money, less opportunity, less support. And yet they carry themselves with peace, with strength, with drive, because they decided no matter what's going on around them, they're going to show up with a winning attitude. And it's that simple decision, repeated over and over again, that eventually separates success from struggle. Now, some mornings, it's not easy. You might feel tired. You might feel uncertain. Maybe yesterday didn't go the way you planned. But that's exactly when your attitude matters the most. Anybody can feel good when everything is going right. The real question is, what do you do when life throws something unexpected at you? That's when you prove who you are. That's when you show what you're made of. If you wake up in the morning and tell yourself, this is going to be a bad day, your brain will go out and find every reason to make that true. But if you wake up and say, no matter what happens today, I will handle it, I will learn from it, and I will stay focused, then you're training your mind to find solutions instead of problems. And that one shift, just that shift, can change the course of your entire life. Some people think attitude is just about smiling or pretending everything is fine, but it's more than that. It's about staying calm when things are stressful. It's about staying grounded when things are uncertain. It's about pushing forward when things are tough. Your attitude is your inner compass. It's what you lean on when everything else gets shaky. The most successful people I've ever met didn't have perfect lives. They had the same problems we all face. But they learned to face those problems with belief, with clarity, with a steady mind. That's attitude. That's the secret. And here's the truth. Your attitude today can influence your health, your relationships, your career, your confidence, and your sense of peace. It touches every part of your life. You don't need a new car or a big promotion to have a good day. You need a better decision at the start of your day. That's all. You need to say to yourself, I won't carry yesterday's pain into today. I won't let one moment ruin the next 23 hours. I choose how I feel. I choose how I think. I choose how I show up. That's strength. That's responsibility. That's freedom. It's not about ignoring reality. It's about facing it with a stronger mindset. Some mornings you're going to feel resistance. Your thoughts might tell you to stay down, to stay quiet, to give up, but you've got to answer those thoughts with a clear decision. You've got to say, no, I am not letting these thoughts decide my day. I am not giving in to fear. I am not letting this mood take over my life. You speak with that kind of clarity, and the rest of your day starts to follow. Do you know why this is so powerful? Because once you begin to take charge of your mornings, you begin to take charge of your life. The way you start your day determines your energy, your direction, your tone, and over time, that becomes your habit. And habits, my friend, shape destiny. It might sound simple, but it's the foundation for everything that follows. You don't build a strong life with a weak attitude. You don't grow in any area of life without first growing the way you think. Attitude is like the soil you plant your actions in. If your attitude is full of negativity, doubt or blame, even the best plans won't grow. But if your attitude is focused, grateful, and steady, even small steps start producing big change. So ask yourself each morning, what kind of person do I want to be today? Not what others expect from you, not what the world wants to take from you, but what you choose to give. You want to be kind. Start your day with compassion. You want to be strong. Start your day with courage. You want to succeed. Start your day with discipline and belief. You want peace. Start your day with forgiveness. Everything begins with a decision, and that decision is your attitude. And here's something even more powerful. The attitude you bring into the world affects the people around you. Your family feels it. Your co-workers feel it. Even strangers can sense it. When you bring hope, confidence and patience into a room, you lift others up. And when you carry stress, anger or doubt, that spreads too. Your attitude is not just for you. It becomes a ripple that touches everything you do. Some people spend their entire lives waiting for the perfect conditions to feel good. But you don't have to wait. You can feel good now, just by choosing a better thought. Just by deciding that today matters, that your mindset matters, and that you matter. This is not about pretending life is easy. It's about facing life with strength and choosing not to be defeated by what you can't control. And I'll say this, you won't get it perfect every day. That's okay. You're human. But what matters is that you keep coming back to that decision every morning. Keep practicing, keep choosing, keep building the habit. And over time, you'll notice you'll feel stronger, clearer, more capable. That's what a great attitude gives you. It gives you power over your day, your direction, and your life. So tomorrow, when you wake up, before anything else, take a moment. Breathe. Remind yourself that you are in control of how this day begins. That no matter what the world throws at you, you have the power to respond with grace, with strength, with clarity. That's the beginning of real change. That's the beginning of growth. That's the beginning of everything. Start every day with a positive decision, because that one choice, made again and again, will take you further than talent, luck, or resources ever could. That's how you build a life that matters. One strong attitude, one strong morning, one strong choice at a time. Chapter 2. Choose your thoughts before they choose you. Every day, thousands of thoughts run through your mind. Some of them lift you up, others pull you down. Some push you to take action, others freeze you in place. Some thoughts make you feel hopeful, others make you feel stuck. And here's the hard truth: if you don't choose your thoughts on purpose, they'll choose you. And they don't always pick what's best for you. The mind is powerful, but it doesn't filter thoughts based on what helps you grow. It gives you everything: fear, doubt, excitement, regret, confidence, worry, and all the rest. So if you're not directing it, it'll run on old patterns that were shaped by your past, by other people's opinions, and by every failure or disappointment you've carried with you. That's why the first real step in building a strong mindset is to take responsibility for what you think. Most people walk around reacting to whatever thoughts pop into their heads. One negative idea shows up, and they believe it instantly. One memory from the past sneaks in, and they relive the pain like it's happening all over again. One self-critical voice whispers, "You're not good enough," and they give it power without question. But you don't have to live that way. You're not a prisoner to your thoughts. You're the one in charge. You have the ability to pause and say, "Is this thought helping me or hurting me?" That one question can create a gap, a moment of control, where you choose what to keep and what to let go. Most people never stop to ask that. They just accept whatever thought shows up. But you don't have to accept thoughts that tear you down. You don't have to carry every idea that enters your mind. You can let go. You can replace. You can decide. And that's what separates someone who lives with clarity and confidence from someone who lives in confusion and fear. It's not about how smart you are or how lucky you are. It's about how carefully you select the thoughts you let grow inside you. Because every thought, when repeated, becomes a belief. And every belief guides your behavior. And your behavior shapes your life. It all starts at the level of thought. When you wake up in the morning, your mind starts moving before your feet even hit the ground. You think about what needs to be done, what you didn't finish yesterday, what might go wrong, what people think of you, and all the things that could hold you back. If you don't stop and set your direction, your mind will pull you toward whatever it's used to. And for many people, that means stress, comparison, or self-doubt. But imagine this: you wake up, and instead of letting those thoughts drag you around, you decide. You take a few minutes to ask yourself, what kind of mindset do I want to bring into today? Do I want to think like a problem solver or a complainer? Do I want to focus on what's missing or what's possible? Do I want to stay stuck in fear or move forward with courage? That's how you take your power back. You don't wait for a perfect mood to show up. You create it with the thoughts you choose. And here's something most people never do. They never question the voice in their head. They just assume it's telling the truth. But not every thought is true. Not every voice is wise. Some thoughts were planted in your mind years ago, maybe by people who didn't believe in themselves, and now they live in your head, replaying like a broken record. You're not ready. You're too late. This won't work. But those thoughts are not facts. They're just old stories. And you have the power to rewrite them. You don't overcome negative thinking by yelling at your mind. You do it by calmly interrupting the pattern. When an unhelpful thought shows up, you replace it with something better, something useful, something honest and strong. Like, "I've handled hard things before, I can handle this too." Or, "Just because I feel uncertain doesn't mean I can't move forward." You create a mental environment that supports your growth. Some people think they can't help what they think. They say, "This is just how I am." But that's not true. Your thoughts are habits, and like any habit, they can be changed. It takes practice. It takes consistency, but it can be done. You train your mind the same way you train your body, by repeating the right thing, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. And what you allow in your mind also depends on what you allow into your life. Who do you spend time with? What do you watch, listen to, and read? Every input becomes fuel for your thoughts. If you surround yourself with negativity, that's what your mind feeds on. But if you surround yourself with clarity, wisdom and truth, your thoughts become stronger, calmer, more focused. You start to think in ways that build you up instead of tear you down. Your energy follows your focus. If you spend your days thinking about what's wrong, what's missing, what could go badly, you'll feel drained, anxious and powerless. But if you learn to place your focus on what you can do, what's working, what's possible, you'll feel more clear, more energized, and more in control. Not because your problems disappeared, but because your mindset got stronger than your fears. You can't always choose what happens to you, but you can always choose how you respond to it. And that response begins with a single thought. One better thought. One new perspective. One mental decision that says, "I'm not going to stay in this place." That's where progress starts. Not with perfect plans or ideal situations, but with a better thought. Some of the greatest changes in life come not from doing more, but from thinking differently. You could be one new thought away from a breakthrough, one shift in the way you see things, one change in how you speak to yourself, one step away from seeing yourself in a new light. But that doesn't happen by chance. It happens because you made a choice. You chose your thoughts before they chose you. You've got to do that daily, just like brushing your teeth or eating your meals, because mental hygiene is just as important. Left unattended, your thoughts will drift into worry, anger, self-criticism. But when you're intentional, when you keep your mental space clean and strong, everything else becomes easier to manage. And here's the best part. Every time you practice choosing your thoughts, you get better at it. It becomes natural. It becomes quicker. What used to take you hours to recover from mentally will take minutes. What used to throw you off for days will barely make a dent. Not because life got easier, but because your mind got wiser. So if you want to change your life, start by changing your thoughts. Not all at once, not overnight, but one at a time. Choose thoughts that give you peace. Choose thoughts that push you forward. Choose thoughts that speak to the person you want to become, not the fear you're trying to leave behind. That's where the shift happens. That's how your life begins to rise. The mind is not your enemy. It's your tool, but only if you take the time to train it. Only if you stop and ask, is this the thought I want to live by? That one question, asked regularly, becomes a habit. And that habit becomes the mindset that drives your future, not by accident, but by choice. That's where your power lives. Right there, in the decision to choose your thoughts before they choose you. Chapter 3. Control your reaction when life gets difficult. When life gets hard, the real test isn't what happens to you, it's how you respond. You can't control everything that comes your way. Problems arrive without warning. People let you down. Plans fall apart. Health can decline. Money gets tight. These things happen to everyone. What makes the difference is how you handle those moments. The power lies in controlling your reaction. It's easy to feel overwhelmed when something goes wrong. Your heart races, your mind spins, and emotions can flood in faster than you can think. Frustration, anger, fear, these are natural. But if you allow those feelings to take over, they can lead you down a path of regret, bitterness, and lost opportunities. You react in a way that keeps you stuck or makes things worse. But there is another way, a better way. You don't have to respond to every situation in the heat of the moment. There's a pause, a small space between what happens and how you react. And in that space, you have control. That pause is your chance to breathe, to think, to decide. You can choose a calm, clear response instead of a quick, emotional one. That choice changes everything. Most people believe their feelings control them. When something bad happens, they say, "I can't help it, I'm just upset." But you can learn to manage your feelings. You can acknowledge them without letting them run your actions. That takes practice and patience. It's not about denying your emotions. It's about not letting them hijack your future. Imagine you receive bad news. A project fails, a relationship breaks, or an unexpected bill arrives. Your first reaction might be panic or anger. But if you stop and take a deep breath, you create a moment to consider your next step. That step might be to calm yourself first, then think clearly about solutions. It might be to talk to someone you trust, or to write down what's bothering you. Whatever it is, you're no longer a slave to your immediate emotions. You're leading yourself. Controlling your reaction isn't about suppressing your feelings. It's about understanding them. It's about recognizing that your first emotional impulse doesn't have to dictate your behavior. You can feel upset, but still choose to respond thoughtfully. You can feel disappointed, but still find ways to move forward. That's emotional intelligence in action, and it's one of the most powerful skills you can develop. When you react calmly to difficulty, you don't just protect yourself, you open the door to problem solving. You see challenges clearly, instead of through a fog of frustration. Your mind is able to work better. You become more creative. You become stronger. That calm reaction becomes a shield against discouragement and a bridge to progress. Think about the people you admire most. The ones who handle tough times well. They don't have fewer problems. They have learned to manage their reactions. They've trained themselves to respond with patience, wisdom, and confidence. You can do the same. It's not a gift you're born with. It's a habit you build. This habit starts with awareness. Notice how you react in difficult moments. Do you get defensive? Do you shut down? Do you blame others or yourself? Do you spiral into negativity? Recognition is the first step to change. Once you see your patterns, you can work to change them. Next, practice breathing deeply in moments of stress. It sounds simple, but deep breathing floods your brain with oxygen and signals your body to relax. That physical act alone can calm your mind and slow down impulsive reactions. When you feel pressure rising, stop and take 3 slow, deep breaths. Give yourself that gift of space. Also, remind yourself that not every reaction requires an immediate answer. Sometimes, the wisest thing to do is to step back, take a walk, get some fresh air, or sleep on it. Giving yourself time allows emotions to settle and clarity to grow. Quick reactions often lead to regrets. Delayed responses give you control. Another tool is to change the story you tell yourself about the difficulty. Instead of thinking, "This is unfair," or "Why me?" try to say, "This is hard, but I can learn from it," or "This is a challenge I can overcome." Words shape feelings. When you change your internal dialogue, you change your reaction. It's also important to focus on what you can control. Often, difficult situations come with things outside your influence. You can't change the past or control other people's actions, but you can control your own attitude and choices. Put your energy there. When you focus on what you can do, you regain power instead of feeling helpless. Sometimes controlling your reaction means forgiving others who hurt you, or forgiving yourself for mistakes. Holding on to anger or guilt only feeds negativity inside. Forgiveness frees you to move forward without carrying heavy baggage. It's a choice to release pain and open space for peace. Remember, your reactions become habits. If you constantly respond to stress with anger or frustration, you train your brain to react that way automatically. But if you practice calmness, patience, and thoughtful action, you train your brain for strength. Over time, this rewires your responses and makes you more resilient. Life will continue to throw difficulties at you. That's guaranteed. You won't always control what happens, but you can always control how you respond. That control is the foundation of peace, growth, and success. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every time you choose a better reaction, you build a stronger, wiser self. You may face moments when controlling your reaction feels impossible, when emotions flood too fast and the pain feels too sharp. In those moments, be gentle with yourself. Change takes time. Every small step counts. Each time you notice your reaction and decide to respond differently, you're winning. You're becoming the person who no difficulty can shake. Control over your reactions also changes how others see you. People are drawn to calm, steady individuals during hard times. They trust them more. They look to them for guidance. Your calm reaction can be a source of strength, not only for you, but for those around you. It inspires confidence and builds respect. Ultimately, controlling your reaction is about freedom. Freedom from being tossed around by every problem. Freedom to choose peace over chaos. Freedom to decide your path, even when the road is rough. That freedom begins with a decision, a commitment to respond with awareness and strength, rather than emotion and confusion. You have that choice in every moment. Life's difficulties don't have to define you. Your reactions do. When you control your reaction, you control your future. It's not easy, it's not automatic, but it's possible, and it's worth every effort. This skill is a form of power that cannot be taken from you. No matter what storms come your way, you can remain steady. You can face challenges with clear eyes and a calm heart. You can rise above the chaos and keep moving forward. So when the next difficult moment arrives, remind yourself that your reaction is yours to choose. Take a breath. Think clearly. Respond with courage and grace. That's how strength is built. That's how lives are changed. That's how attitude proves it truly is everything. Chapter 4. Focus on what you can do right now. When life feels overwhelming, it's easy to get caught up in all the things you can't control. You think about what's gone wrong, what could go wrong, and what you don't have. Your mind races with worry about the future and regrets about the past. But here's the reality: spending time on what you can't control drains your energy and steals your peace. The only way to move forward is to focus on what you can do right now. Right now means this moment. Not tomorrow, not next week, not after you have everything figured out. This moment, exactly as it is. The power of this moment is huge. It's the one place where your choices actually make a difference. No matter how big or small the step, action right now creates momentum. Most people wait for the perfect time or the perfect conditions before taking action. They tell themselves, "I'll start when I feel ready," or "I'll begin once things settle down." But that perfect time rarely comes. Life is full of challenges and uncertainties. Waiting only adds to anxiety and frustration. The secret to progress is starting with what's possible now, even if it's small. When you focus on what you can do in this moment, you break down huge problems into manageable pieces. Instead of feeling paralyzed by everything that needs to happen, you see one clear next step. That clarity reduces stress and builds confidence. It turns "I can't" into "I will." Action fuels hope. When you take one step forward, no matter how tiny, your mind releases chemicals that boost your motivation and energy. You start to see possibilities instead of obstacles. You begin to feel in control instead of overwhelmed. That shift in perspective is the foundation for lasting change. Even when your options seem limited, there's always something you can do. Maybe it's making a phone call, writing down your goals, organizing your space, or simply deciding to be patient and calm. These small actions might not solve everything immediately, but they create movement. And movement breaks the cycle of feeling stuck. It's important to remind yourself that progress isn't about giant leaps. It's about consistent, focused effort. One small step taken every day leads to big results over time. When you focus on what you can do right now, you build a habit of action. That habit becomes your greatest asset in facing challenges. Some people get trapped in trying to fix everything at once. They want to control every detail or solve every problem immediately. But that approach drains energy and leads to burnout. Focusing on the present and on what's within your reach allows you to conserve strength and make smart decisions. This focus also sharpens your attention. Instead of scattering your energy across many worries and distractions, you direct it towards something practical. That focused effort makes your actions more effective. It also reduces feelings of anxiety because your mind is occupied with doing, not stressing. Another benefit of focusing on what you can do right now is that it builds resilience. When you face setbacks, this approach keeps you moving forward. You don't get stuck replaying failures or worrying about what might happen. Instead, you ask yourself, "What's the next right thing I can do?" That question opens the door to solutions and growth. You might think your current situation is hopeless, or that you don't have the resources to make a difference. But often, the act of trying something, anything, creates new opportunities. It reveals paths you didn't see before. It connects you with people who can help. It gives you information you need to adjust your course. Taking action in the present moment also strengthens your confidence. When you see yourself following through, even in small ways, you build trust in your ability to handle challenges. That trust is essential for facing bigger obstacles in the future. It's easy to get discouraged when you compare yourself to others or when you focus on how far you have to go. But focusing on what you can do right now keeps you grounded. It reminds you that success is built one step at a time, not overnight. You don't have to have it all figured out today. You only need to take the next step. Your attitude towards action matters too. Approaching the present with curiosity and willingness instead of fear or hesitation makes a big difference. When you're willing to try, even without guarantees, you open yourself to learning and growth. You become more adaptable and prepared for whatever comes next. Sometimes, focusing on what you can do right now means setting boundaries. It means saying no to distractions or things that drain your energy. It means protecting your time and focus so you can work on what matters. This kind of discipline is a key part of effective action. It's also helpful to celebrate small wins. Every task completed, every challenge faced, every bit of progress deserves recognition. Those celebrations fuel your motivation and remind you that your efforts matter. They keep your spirits high, even when the bigger picture is still unfolding. When you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now? That question brings your mind back to the present and breaks down the fog of stress. Write down the answer. Then do it. No matter how small, that action creates momentum. Your future is built on the actions you take today. No matter how many plans you make or dreams you hold, without action, they remain ideas. Focusing on what you can do right now turns dreams into reality. It moves you from thinking about change to actually living change. Remember, control over the present moment is your greatest power. You can't change yesterday or guarantee tomorrow, but you can act now, and acting now creates the future you want. Your attitude toward the present moment shapes everything. When you choose to focus on what's possible instead of what's missing, you become a problem solver. You become someone who doesn't wait for life to get easier, but who makes the most of every situation. That mindset opens doors to new possibilities and growth. In times of uncertainty or struggle, the temptation is to freeze or give up. But choosing to focus on what you can do right now breaks that pattern. It moves you from helplessness to hope, from frustration to forward motion. It's a simple, powerful choice that you can make again and again. Life doesn't demand perfection. It only demands presence. Being present with your actions means you're engaged with your life. You're choosing to participate rather than passively waiting. That participation creates meaning and progress. So whenever you feel overwhelmed, remember the power is in your hands this moment. What can you do right now? That question is your compass, your anchor, your way forward. Focus on the next step in front of you. Take it with intention. Then take the next one. That's how progress is made. That's how attitude becomes everything. One action in the present moment after another, leading you toward a stronger, brighter future. Chapter 5. Surround yourself with positive and driven people. The people you spend the most time with have a powerful influence on who you become. They shape your thoughts, your habits, and your attitude toward life. When you surround yourself with positive and driven people, you create an environment that lifts you up and pushes you forward. This is not just about friendship or social circles. It's about building a foundation that supports your growth, your dreams, and your resilience. Think about the energy in the room when you're with motivated, optimistic people. There's a spark, a sense of possibility. Their enthusiasm is contagious. Their belief in themselves and their goals inspires you. Being around those kinds of people challenges you to raise your standards. It challenges you to keep going when things get tough. It challenges you to see beyond your current struggles and focus on what's possible. On the other hand, spending too much time with negative or unmotivated people drains your energy. Their doubts and complaints can weigh heavily on you. Their limited thinking can close doors instead of opening them. You start to absorb their fears and excuses, often without even realizing it. That's why the company you keep matters so much. It shapes your mindset in ways that are subtle but profound. Positive and driven people don't just bring good vibes, they bring accountability. They push you to stay true to your goals. When you're tempted to give up, they remind you why you started. When you doubt yourself, they remind you of your strengths. This kind of support is invaluable. It keeps you on track and focused on what matters most. Surrounding yourself with motivated individuals also expands your perspective. These people often have different experiences, skills, and ideas. Their passion for growth can open your eyes to new possibilities you hadn't considered. Conversations with them challenge you to think bigger and aim higher. They encourage learning, curiosity, and continuous improvement. Being around positive and driven people also teaches you valuable habits. You observe how they handle setbacks, how they manage their time, and how they maintain their mindset. These examples provide a roadmap for your own growth. You learn not just from their successes, but also from their challenges and how they overcome them. This environment helps you build resilience. When you face difficulties, the support and encouragement of like-minded people remind you that you're not alone. You draw strength from their experiences and their belief in the value of persistence. This shared energy fuels your determination to keep moving forward. It's important to be intentional about who you spend your time with. Not everyone around you will have the same level of ambition or positivity. That's okay, but you have to choose wisely. Seek out those who inspire you, who challenge you, and who support your goals. Distance yourself from those who bring negativity, discouragement, or unnecessary drama. Building a network of positive and driven people takes effort. It may mean joining groups or communities that share your interests and values. It might mean reaching out to mentors or peers who have the mindset you want to cultivate. Sometimes it means making difficult decisions about relationships that no longer serve your growth. When you commit to surrounding yourself with the right people, you create a circle of influence that continuously pushes you upward. This circle becomes a source of motivation on days when your own energy feels low. It becomes a well of inspiration when challenges seem overwhelming. And it becomes a team of accountability partners who want to see you succeed as much as you do. Your attitude grows stronger in this kind of environment. You begin to think differently about setbacks, viewing them as temporary and solvable. You develop greater confidence in your ability to overcome obstacles. You find more joy in the journey because you're not carrying it alone. This doesn't mean you'll never face hard days or doubts. It means you have a support system to lean on when those moments come. It means you're surrounded by people who remind you of your potential even when you forget it yourself. That kind of encouragement is priceless. Positive and driven people also challenge you to give your best. They don't settle for excuses or half-hearted efforts. They expect you to show up fully and push yourself. Their standards raise your own. You begin to hold yourself accountable in ways you might not have before. The influence of those around you also impacts your beliefs about what's possible. If the people you spend time with dream big and take action, you'll start to believe you can do the same. If they focus on solutions rather than problems, you'll adopt that mindset. This kind of influence is one of the strongest forces in shaping your attitude. When you start to attract positive and driven people, you become more selective about your own thoughts and actions. You realize the importance of maintaining your own attitude. You understand that your mindset affects not just your own life, but the lives of those around you. You become a person who not only receives support but also gives it. This cycle of positivity and drive creates a powerful momentum. As you lift others up, you lift yourself higher. As you share your goals and progress, you inspire others to do the same. This shared energy becomes a force that propels everyone forward. Being around positive and driven people also helps you stay focused on your purpose. When distractions and doubts creep in, their influence helps you return to your goals. Their belief in what's possible renews your own belief. Together you create a shared vision of success that motivates you daily. It's important to remember that this environment doesn't mean avoiding reality or challenges. Positive and driven people are realists. They see obstacles clearly, but don't let those obstacles stop them. They choose to focus on solutions and possibilities. That mindset helps you develop the same strength and clarity. Surrounding yourself with the right people creates a safe space for growth. You can share your struggles without fear of judgment. You can celebrate your wins without arrogance. You can learn from others' experiences and share your own. This mutual support fosters confidence and courage. At the end of the day, your attitude is shaped by the environment you create. If you want to build a strong, resilient, and optimistic mindset, you have to be intentional about who you let into your circle. Positive and driven people are the fertile ground where your best attitude can grow. This choice is a powerful act of self-care. It's a way of protecting your mind and spirit from negativity. It's a way of inviting growth, encouragement, and opportunity into your life. When you make this decision, you take a major step toward living a life defined by strength, purpose, and joy. The people you surround yourself with matter. They can either lift you up or hold you back. Choosing positive and driven company is choosing a path to success. It's choosing an environment where your attitude can thrive and where your potential can be fully realized. Invest in those relationships. Seek out those who inspire and challenge you. Give your time and energy to connections that build you up. Distance yourself from those who drain your spirit or limit your dreams. Your attitude will thank you. Your future will reflect it. When you make the choice to surround yourself with positivity and drive, you're not just changing your circle, you're changing your life. That's how attitude becomes everything. Chapter 6. Stop blaming and take full responsibility today. Taking full responsibility for your life is one of the most powerful decisions you can make. It means owning every part of your story, your successes and your mistakes, your strengths and your weaknesses. It means refusing to blame others or circumstances for where you are. Instead, you accept that your choices, your actions, and your attitude determine your future. This shift is not always easy, but it's necessary for real growth and lasting change. Blaming others might feel like a way to protect yourself. It's easier to say, "I can't because of this," or "that happened because of them," than to face the truth that you have control over your own path. But every time you blame, you give away your power. You hand your future over to outside forces, and when you do that, you become a passenger in your own life instead of the driver. When you stop blaming, you stop waiting for permission, for help, or for the perfect moment. You stop being stuck in excuses. That's when progress begins. Taking responsibility means looking at your life honestly. It means asking hard questions. What choices have I made that led me here? What can I do differently? What habits do I need to change? These questions move you from victim to victor. Responsibility doesn't mean you ignore challenges or pretend everything is your fault. Life throws curveballs. Bad things happen that aren't your doing. But taking responsibility means you decide how you respond. You decide what to do next. You focus on solutions, not blame. This mindset opens doors instead of closing them. When you take responsibility, you take control. You acknowledge that no matter what happens, you have the power to choose your attitude, your actions, and your future. That power is freedom. It's the freedom to create a life you want instead of living under the weight of circumstances or other people's decisions. This choice requires courage. It's easier to blame than to face the discomfort of owning your role. But courage builds character. It builds resilience. It builds confidence. When you take responsibility, you send a message to yourself and the world that you're serious about your life. That you won't settle for less. That you're committed to growth. Taking responsibility also improves your relationships. When you stop blaming others, you communicate with more honesty and respect. You listen more and argue less. You focus on finding common ground instead of winning fights. This shift builds trust and deepens connections. It's important to recognize that responsibility starts with your attitude. You control your thoughts about yourself and your situation. When you say, "This is my life and I'm responsible for it," you change how you think. You stop looking outside for answers and start looking within. That inner focus creates strength. Some people wait for external validation or circumstances to change before they act. They believe, if only things were different, I would be different. But that's a trap. Waiting for outside changes means you stay stuck. Taking responsibility means starting where you are, with what you have. That's where real transformation happens. Taking responsibility is also about action. It's not enough to think differently. You must act differently. Every decision you make today matters. Every step you take moves you closer or farther from your goals. When you own that, you become more mindful of your choices. You become intentional. This mindset also frees you from regret and self-pity. Instead of wasting energy on what you can't change, you focus on what you can do now. You learn from mistakes without being defined by them. You accept that failures are part of growth, not the end of the road. Owning your life means accepting your past, but not being limited by it. Your story is yours to write. You can choose to learn from every experience, good or bad. You can rewrite your future with new decisions and actions. That's the power of responsibility. When you stop blaming, you also inspire others. People respect those who own their mistakes and rise above challenges. Your example encourages those around you to take charge of their own lives. Responsibility becomes contagious. It's important to be patient with yourself during this process. Taking full responsibility is a journey, not a single moment. You might slip into old habits of blame or excuse. That's normal. The key is to recognize it and return to ownership. Each time you do, you grow stronger. This choice changes how you see obstacles too. Instead of seeing problems as walls, you see them as challenges to overcome. You become solution-focused, creative and determined. This mindset attracts opportunities because you're ready to act and grow. When you take responsibility for your attitude, your actions and your life, you create stability in chaos. You build a foundation that no external event can easily shake. This foundation is the core of success and happiness. So today, make a commitment to stop blaming and take full responsibility for your life. Look honestly at your situation and ask yourself, what part do I play? What can I do next? That question is your path forward. It's the key to freedom and growth. Taking responsibility means you're ready to lead your life, no matter the circumstances. It means you're ready to face challenges with strength and clarity. It means you're ready to become the person you want to be. Remember, responsibility is not a burden, it's a gift. It's the power to change, to grow, and to create the future you deserve. When you embrace it fully, your attitude shifts. Your actions align with your goals. Your life transforms. Your attitude is everything, because it determines how you take responsibility. When you own your story, your choices and your future, you unlock your true potential. That's where real freedom and success live. Start today. Choose responsibility over blame. Choose growth over excuses. Choose to lead your life with strength and purpose. That choice will change everything. Chapter 7. Train your mind to look for solutions. Training your mind to look for solutions is one of the most important skills you can develop. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and unexpected obstacles. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle often comes down to mindset. Specifically, how their minds respond when problems arise. A solution-focused mind doesn't waste energy on worry or blame. Instead, it looks for answers, learns from difficulties, and moves forward with determination. At first, thinking this way doesn't always come naturally. Many people get stuck in negative thought patterns. When faced with a problem, they focus on what's wrong, what can't be done, or who is responsible. This kind of thinking drains energy and keeps you feeling powerless. The mind becomes a place of frustration instead of opportunity. But with intentional practice, you can change this habit. The first step is awareness. Notice when your mind falls into the trap of complaining or dwelling on problems. Catch yourself when you say, "This won't work," or "There's no way out." Awareness creates the possibility of change. You can't fix something you don't see. Next, challenge those thoughts. Ask yourself, what can I do about this? Or what is one way I could solve this problem? These questions shift your brain from a place of resistance to a place of action. Even if the solution isn't obvious right away, this mindset opens you up to possibilities. Another key to training your mind is focusing on what you can control. Problems often feel overwhelming because you look at everything at once, the big picture with all its complications. But real solutions come from breaking down problems into smaller parts. What's one piece of this challenge you can tackle? What's a step forward you can take right now? This focus keeps you grounded and practical. Thinking about solutions doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending problems don't exist. It means acknowledging the situation honestly, but choosing to put your energy into finding a way forward. This is a shift from helplessness to empowerment. Training your mind to seek solutions also means becoming curious and creative. When stuck, try to think differently. Look at the problem from new angles. Ask yourself, what have others done in this situation? Or what if I tried something I haven't before? This openness leads to innovation and progress. It helps to surround yourself with people who think this way too. Solution-focused individuals inspire and challenge you to keep searching for answers. They share ideas, offer support, and remind you that every problem has potential solutions. Their influence can accelerate your mental shift. Building this habit requires patience. Your mind won't change overnight. Old thinking patterns can be stubborn. When you catch yourself slipping back into complaint or frustration, gently bring your focus back to solutions. Celebrate small wins when you find answers or take positive steps. These moments reinforce your new mindset. Another important part is training your mind to stay calm under pressure. When emotions run high, it's easy to get overwhelmed and lose sight of solutions. Deep breathing, taking breaks, or stepping back from the problem for a moment can help. A clear mind is better at spotting opportunities and thinking creatively. Reading, learning, and exposing yourself to new ideas also strengthen this skill. The more you expand your knowledge and perspectives, the more resources you have to draw on when faced with challenges. Education is a tool for solving problems. It's also useful to keep a journal or notes about problems and solutions you encounter. Writing down your thoughts helps organize your mind and track your progress. You can look back and see how you overcame difficulties before, which builds confidence for the future. Training your mind to look for solutions is a lifelong practice. Every new problem is an opportunity to strengthen this habit. Over time, your mind naturally gravitates toward action and possibilities instead of worry and obstacles. This mindset improves not only your personal life, but also your work and relationships. People notice and respect those who respond to challenges with calm, creativity, and determination. You become a source of strength and inspiration for others. When your mind is trained to find solutions, setbacks become learning experiences rather than failures. You develop resilience, the ability to bounce back quickly and grow stronger. This resilience is a foundation for success and happiness. At its core, this practice is about taking control. Problems will come. You cannot avoid them, but you can choose how to face them. You can decide to be proactive instead of reactive. You can focus on growth instead of defeat. The process starts with a simple decision to stop dwelling on problems and start searching for answers. This choice changes your energy, your attitude, and ultimately your results. It's important to remember that solutions don't always have to be perfect. Sometimes a small step in the right direction is enough to move forward. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Your mind is like a muscle. The more you exercise it by seeking solutions, the stronger and more flexible it becomes. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable become manageable. So when you face your next problem, pause, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you have the ability to find answers. Ask yourself, what can I do about this? Focus on what's within your control. Look for options. Think creatively. Take action. This mindset not only solves problems but also builds confidence. Every time you find a solution, you prove to yourself that you are capable. That belief fuels further success. Training your mind to look for solutions turns life's challenges into opportunities. It transforms obstacles into stepping stones. It empowers you to live with courage, clarity, and hope. This shift is a powerful part of why attitude truly is everything, because the way you think determines how you live, how you grow, and how you succeed. Train your mind well, choose solutions over problems, keep moving forward. Your future depends on it. Chapter 8. Speak like the person you want to become. The way you speak to yourself and others shapes the person you are becoming. Words have power. They build your confidence, influence your mindset, and create your reality. Speaking like the person you want to become means choosing language that reflects your goals, your values, and your best self. It's about using your voice intentionally to step into the future you want right now. Most people don't realize how much their words affect their attitude. When you say, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," or "that's impossible," you reinforce doubt and limitation. These words create barriers in your mind and make it harder to take action. On the other hand, speaking with belief, clarity, and purpose opens doors. It fuels motivation and builds strength. Start by paying attention to your self-talk. What do you say when no one is listening? Do your words lift you up or tear you down? Speaking like the person you want to become means replacing negative or doubtful language with positive and empowering statements. Instead of saying, "I don't know how," say, "I'm learning how." Instead of, "This is too hard," say, "I will find a way." This shift changes your mindset and prepares you for growth. Speaking like your future self also means talking about your goals with confidence. When you share your dreams clearly and boldly, you reinforce your commitment to them. Saying, "I want to be successful someday," sounds uncertain. Saying, "I am working towards success every day," shows determination and belief. Your words plant seeds in your mind and in the minds of others. The way you speak to others matters too. When you communicate with respect, kindness, and honesty, you build stronger relationships. People respond to your confidence and clarity. They see you as someone who knows what they want and is moving toward it. That energy invites opportunities and support. Speak with gratitude for where you are now, even if it's not where you want to be. Gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. It opens your heart and mind. Saying, "I'm thankful for the progress I've made," creates a foundation of positivity that fuels further success. Avoid language that sounds like excuses or complaints. When you speak in ways that take responsibility and show action, you build credibility. Instead of saying, "I can't because of this," say, "I'm figuring out how to overcome this." This kind of language puts you in control and attracts solutions. Your tone matters as well. Speaking calmly and clearly shows confidence. Even when discussing challenges, your voice can express determination rather than defeat. This attitude influences how others perceive you and how you feel about yourself. Practice speaking like the person you want to become by visualizing that future self. Imagine how they would talk about their goals, their challenges, and their daily life. What words would they use? What tone would they have? Try speaking aloud with that mindset. Over time, it becomes natural. Using affirmations is another helpful tool. These are positive statements about who you are or who you're becoming. For example, "I am capable," "I am resilient," or "I am focused on my growth." Repeating affirmations regularly rewires your brain to believe those truths. Remember, speaking like your future self is not about pretending or being fake. It's about choosing language that supports your growth and reflects your intentions. It's about being honest while also being hopeful and determined. The language you use every day influences your thoughts and actions. When you speak with purpose, you create momentum. You set expectations for yourself and others. You become the leader of your own life. Be mindful of the stories you tell yourself and others. Stories like "I'm stuck" or "I always fail" limit your potential. Replace those stories with ones of growth, learning, and resilience. Speak about challenges as opportunities to develop and improve. When you start speaking like the person you want to become, you notice changes in how you carry yourself. Your confidence grows. Your motivation increases. You attract people and circumstances that align with your goals. It's also important to listen to how you respond to setbacks or criticism. Speaking like your future self means responding with grace and growth, not defensiveness or despair. Use language that reflects learning and progress, such as "This feedback helps me improve," or "I'm finding new ways to succeed." Speak with clarity about your priorities. When you express what matters most to you, you reinforce those values in your daily decisions. Clear communication about your goals helps you stay focused and aligned with your vision. The way you speak influences your energy. Positive, purposeful language generates enthusiasm and drive. Negative or uncertain language drains energy and creates doubt. Choosing your words carefully is like choosing your emotional fuel. Surround yourself with people who speak in ways that inspire and uplift you. Their language will support your growth and help you maintain a positive mindset. You'll find yourself adopting similar ways of speaking, further reinforcing your desired attitude. Remember, change takes time. Speaking like the person you want to become is a habit you develop through daily practice. Be patient with yourself. Notice progress and celebrate the moments when your language reflects your goals and values. Your words are a powerful tool for shaping your life. They influence your thoughts, feelings, and actions. They impact your relationships and your opportunities. Speaking like the person you want to become is one of the most effective ways to build the attitude and life you desire. Start now by choosing words that reflect strength, hope, and determination. Speak with confidence about your dreams and challenges. Let your language be a reflection of your commitment to growth. Every conversation, every sentence, every word is a chance to step into your future self. Use that chance wisely. Speak with purpose. Speak with belief. Speak like the person you want to become. When you do, you will find your attitude changing. You will feel more capable, more focused, and more ready to face whatever comes next. That is the power of language. That is why attitude is everything. Chapter 9. Don't let failure shape your daily mindset. Failure is a part of life that no one escapes. Everyone faces setbacks, disappointments, and moments when things don't go as planned. The real challenge isn't avoiding failure. That's impossible. The challenge is how you let failure affect your daily mindset. You have a choice. Let failure defeat you, or let it teach you and fuel your growth. Not letting failure shape your daily mindset is one of the most powerful attitudes you can develop. It's natural to feel discouraged after failing. You might feel frustration, shame, or doubt. Those feelings are real and valid, but they don't have to control your thoughts or actions. It's important to process those emotions, but not to get stuck in them. The moment you let failure dominate your mind, you give it power to limit you. One of the biggest mistakes people make is defining themselves by their failures. They say, "I'm a failure," or "I can't do this." These statements trap you in a fixed mindset and stop progress. Instead, failure should be seen as a single event, something that happened but doesn't define your entire story. Each day is a fresh start. Yesterday's failure is behind you. Today is an opportunity to begin again with new insight. Holding on to failure as a constant companion steals your energy and clouds your vision. It blinds you to the possibilities right in front of you. When you refuse to let failure shape your mindset, you gain freedom. Freedom to focus on solutions, to take action, and to keep moving forward. This attitude creates resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger from setbacks. The way you talk to yourself after failure matters a lot. Negative self-talk reinforces defeat. Positive, encouraging self-talk creates strength. Instead of saying, "I messed up," try, "I learned something important." Instead of "I can't," say, "I'll try a different way." These shifts in language change how you feel and act. Looking at failure as a teacher helps you grow. Every mistake carries a lesson. Maybe it's about preparation, timing, or attitude. Maybe it's about asking for help or trying a new approach. Extracting lessons from failure makes it a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. It's important to create habits that protect your mindset from the weight of failure. This might include setting daily intentions focused on progress, practicing gratitude for what's going well, or surrounding yourself with supportive people who encourage you. Failure can easily lead to fear, fear of trying again or fear of being judged. But fear limits you more than failure ever will. Refusing to let failure shape your mindset means choosing courage over fear. It means deciding that growth and learning are more important than avoiding discomfort. Sometimes failure shakes your confidence. That's normal. Confidence isn't about never failing. It's about trusting yourself enough to keep going despite failure. Each step forward builds that trust. When failure threatens your mindset, remind yourself of your past successes. Remember times you faced difficulty and overcame it. These memories are proof that you have the strength to move past failure. It's also helpful to set realistic expectations. Success is rarely a straight path. It's a series of efforts, some that work and some that don't. Understanding this helps you stay patient and persistent. Mindfulness and reflection are powerful tools. When negative thoughts about failure arise, pause and observe them without judgment. Ask yourself if those thoughts are true or just habits of fear and doubt. This practice weakens the power of failure-based thinking. Failing doesn't mean you're alone. Everyone struggles. Knowing this connects you to a larger human experience and reduces shame. It also allows you to seek advice and support without embarrassment. Reframing failure helps maintain motivation. Instead of "I failed," think "I'm on the path to success." This mindset sees failure as part of the process, not the end. Your daily mindset shapes your actions, and your actions shape your results. If failure controls your mind, your actions become cautious or avoidant. If you keep failure in perspective, your actions become bold and purposeful. Celebrate small wins every day to counterbalance feelings of failure. Recognizing progress, even if imperfect, builds positive momentum. This momentum is a shield against discouragement. It's important to remember that failure today doesn't predict your future. Each new day offers a chance to rewrite your story. Your mindset is the pen, and your actions are the ink. Learning to separate your identity from your failures is crucial. You are not your mistakes. You are a person who can learn, adapt, and grow beyond them. When failure happens, focus on what you can control next. What steps can you take right now? What support can you ask for? What new information do you have? Concentrating on immediate actions keeps your mindset constructive. Avoid the trap of perfectionism that fears failure so much it stops you from trying. Imperfect action is better than no action. Taking imperfect steps teaches you and moves you forward. Remember, resilience is a muscle you build over time. Each time you refuse to let failure shape your mindset, you strengthen that muscle. You become more flexible, more adaptable, and more confident. Your attitude toward failure influences not just your success but your happiness. Holding on to failure breeds bitterness and stress. Letting go creates peace and optimism. When failure tries to shape your day, remind yourself that it's a temporary event, not a permanent state. You have the power to decide how much space it occupies in your mind. Use failure as motivation to improve. Let it ignite a desire to learn and become better. This energy turns setbacks into fuel for success. Accept that setbacks are normal, and don't signal the end of your journey. They are chapters in a longer story of growth. When you stop letting failure define your mindset, you open yourself to new opportunities. You take risks that lead to breakthroughs. You stay open to learning and connection. Practice kindness with yourself when you fail. Speak to yourself as you would to a friend. This compassion nurtures a healthy mindset that can handle challenges. Your daily mindset is a choice you make continuously. Refuse to let failure have the final say. Choose hope, growth, and persistence. Instead, with this attitude, failure becomes a teacher, not a jailer. It becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. It becomes a part of your journey toward becoming the person you want to be. Every day is a new chance to decide how you respond. Refuse to let yesterday's failures steal today's joy and progress. You are capable of great things, and failure does not change that. Your mindset does. Choose one that empowers you to keep going, keep learning, and keep growing. That choice will shape your life far more than any failure ever could. Another important part is training your mind to stay calm under pressure. When emotions run high, it's easy to get overwhelmed and lose sight of solutions. Deep breathing, taking breaks, or stepping back from the problem for a moment can help. A clear mind is better at spotting opportunities and thinking creatively. Reading, learning, and exposing yourself to new ideas also strengthen this skill. The more you expand your knowledge and perspectives, the more resources you have to draw on when faced with challenges. Education is a tool for solving problems. It's also useful to keep a journal or notes about problems and solutions you encounter. Writing down your thoughts helps organize your mind and track your progress. You can look back and see how you overcame difficulties before, which builds confidence for the future. Training your mind to look for solutions is a lifelong practice. Every new problem is an opportunity to strengthen this habit. Over time, your mind naturally gravitates toward action and possibilities instead of worry and obstacles. This mindset improves not only your personal life, but also your work and relationships. People notice and respect those who respond to challenges with calm, creativity, and determination. You become a source of strength and inspiration for others. When your mind is trained to find solutions, setbacks become learning experiences rather than failures. You develop resilience, the ability to bounce back quickly and grow stronger. This resilience is a foundation for success and happiness. At its core, this practice is about taking control. Problems will come. You cannot avoid them, but you can choose how to face them. You can decide to be proactive instead of reactive. You can focus on growth instead of defeat. The process starts with a simple decision to stop dwelling on problems and start searching for answers. This choice changes your energy, your attitude, and ultimately your results. It's important to remember that solutions don't always have to be perfect. Sometimes a small step in the right direction is enough to move forward. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Your mind is like a muscle. The more you exercise it by seeking solutions, the stronger and more flexible it becomes. Challenges that once seemed insurmountable become manageable. So when you face your next problem, pause, take a deep breath. Remind yourself that you have the ability to find answers. Ask yourself, what can I do about this? Focus on what's within your control. Look for options. Think creatively. Take action. This mindset not only solves problems but also builds confidence. Every time you find a solution, you prove to yourself that you are capable. That belief fuels further success. Training your mind to look for solutions turns life's challenges into opportunities. It transforms obstacles into stepping stones. It empowers you to live with courage, clarity, and hope. This shift is a powerful part of why attitude truly is everything, because the way you think determines how you live, how you grow, and how you succeed. Train your mind well, choose solutions over problems, keep moving forward. Your future depends on it. Surrounding yourself with encouraging and positive people can also strengthen your attitude. Supportive friends, mentors, or communities remind you that slow progress is normal and temporary. Their belief in you boosts your own confidence. Visualizing your success can keep your attitude strong. Imagine how it will feel when you achieve your goals. Picture yourself overcoming challenges and celebrating victories. This mental image creates motivation and resilience. It's natural to face frustration when progress is slow. Instead of suppressing these feelings, acknowledge them. Allow yourself to feel disappointed or impatient, then consciously choose to refocus on your goals. This balance of honesty and commitment keeps your attitude healthy and real. Tracking your progress helps too. Keeping a journal or log of your daily actions and improvements shows you that your effort is consistent. When results feel invisible, looking back at what you've done reminds you that growth is happening. Remember, the most successful people in history faced long periods of slow progress. They kept their attitude strong by believing in their vision and working steadily. Their stories are proof that perseverance through slow times leads to lasting success. Maintaining a strong attitude during slow results also means forgiving yourself for mistakes or setbacks. No journey is perfect. Being kind to yourself helps you bounce back quicker and keep moving forward. Focus on what you can control: your effort, your attitude, your actions. Results often depend on factors beyond your control, but your mindset and work ethic are always yours to choose. This focus empowers you and keeps your attitude strong. Replace impatience with action. When you feel stuck waiting for results, look for ways to improve your process. Learning new skills, seeking feedback, or adjusting strategies keeps your momentum alive. Keep your language positive and empowering. Avoid statements like "this is taking too long" or "I'm not making any progress." Instead say, "I'm committed to this journey, and every day I get closer to my goal." Words shape your mindset and energy. Slow progress is often where character is built. Patience, resilience, and discipline develop when results don't come quickly. These qualities become your foundation for success and happiness. It's important to remind yourself that speed isn't always a sign of success. Sometimes slow, steady progress leads to more sustainable and meaningful outcomes. Rushing can cause mistakes or burnout. Trust the process and your pace. Keeping your attitude strong during slow results means staying focused on the bigger picture. Your goal isn't just about a specific result, it's about growing into the person who can create and sustain that success. This journey shapes you in powerful ways. Celebrate your commitment to the process. Each day you choose to keep going is a victory. This attitude of dedication over immediate reward sets you apart and prepares you for lasting achievement. When you feel doubt creeping in, remind yourself that every expert was once a beginner who kept going despite slow progress. Their success is built on days like yours. Finally, remember that attitude is everything because it determines your response to slow results. With a strong attitude, slow progress becomes motivation. It becomes fuel. It becomes a sign that you are growing in the right direction. Keep your focus, stay patient, and trust your effort. The results will come, and when they do, you will be ready to receive them because your attitude stayed strong the whole time.